All right, what's up, you guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Today, going to be going over the price action. I did not take any trades, but there was an A plus setup that just played out. So just gonna go through price action, everything that went down today this morning. And yeah, let's get into it. So going into the day, I was high time frame bearish bias, but honestly not expecting to see much today. Sheer chop from Asia session and London session. So we had both London highs and London lows intact after taking out Asia lows. So essentially looking to just play either side of the range. I need to see London highs get taken first or London lows to get taken first in order to either trade to the other one. So super high conviction setup. Like if we came up, took London highs, highest time frame inversion out of the draw on liquidity PD array, SMT, take it down to London lows, and then eventually like the daily, the weekly low. And so we ended up hitting that. I'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah. So what happened was price opened. We made relative equal lows here. This 5-minute candle didn't take out anything. So there is a short opportunity here off this 1-minute inverse. So highest time frame in the leg. And the reason why this isn't a good setup is because we didn't tap into London highs, and we still have all this low resistance liquidity above. So yes, it's a good entry model. And like I think people that are just getting into inverse fair value gaps, like they'll take this and be like, yo, why is this not a good trade? Because we didn't tap into a higher time frame PD array or key level. We still have all this low resistance liquidity above. We do have relative equal lows here, and the bias is bearish. That doesn't make this a good trade though. So I faded this because, I mean, this actually did end up playing out. I had to go stop above the candle body. TP at London lows, you can get a 1 to 2. I didn't take this though because if this fails, it failed because we have London highs above. And I mean, I would just be upset with myself. I can't justify shorting with low resistance liquidity or like a previous session high above. So you could go break even there. I would have gone like break even at this low. And then we come down, take out London lows. So this is not playing out. This is all generated low resistance liquidity though. So at this point, reassessing. All right, where is the next draw on liquidity? So it looks like we're closing through London lows. We're going to open up a 5-minute here, but like we really don't have anything to play off of. So I'm just staying patient. At this point, I'm like, all right, the draw is obviously the daily low, the weekly low. So how can we get there? Look for a continuation model since I am bearish. So if I'm going to be bearish, I want to see an hourly open high, low close, trade to a PD array, 5 or 15 minute, and then we go lower. And so make this intermediate term low. Now, very similar to the setup I just explained above. You're like, yo, inverse fair value gap. Why can't I take this? Because we didn't tap into a high time frame PD array. Like if this loses, if price just, comes down, you're pretty upset with yourself because the draw was obviously lower. So yes, this is a very good mech model, technically speaking. Let's say there was like a high time frame PD array here that we tap into. Maybe this is like the sell side draw on liquidity, and we get this reaction out. I'm slapping that. So the unfilled 5-minute, I think we had 2 5-minutes. There's also another 5-minute here. I'm slapping that. Break even at the first one, TP at the second, and then you could hold a runner to like the 5-minute or London highs, which we still have intact. And so I guess this ended up, this was just like chop at this point. I mean, so I'm still bearish, so I didn't take it. But then we tap into the 5-minute here, this 5-minute gap, and we get a 2-minute inverse out. So this is technically my continuation model. Tap into a 5-minute highest time frame out in correlation to the draw on liquidity, which is lower. And I faded this, which I honestly can't really explain. It's honestly just like a screen time thing. This is such a discounted, such a like a premium short that I kind of just expected this to fail. Also considering we have all this low resistance liquidity above, I just thought that this would probably fail. We're also, at this point, 10-12. We're 3 minutes away from opening up a 15-minute at this high. And so if we are really going to be bearish, there will be times when we just tap the 5-minute while leaving an unfilled 15-minute, and then we run, and then we'll take out the 15-minute during the buy side of the curve. But this trade failed, and I faded it, which I'm very happy about. I mean, I guess you go break even here after you don't get stopped out. That's what I probably would have done if I was in this, but I just wasn't that confident about seeing this play out after having this massive dump. And so we come up, take the 5-minute. At this point, we're inside 5-minute, we're inside 15-minute for value gap. We are respecting this gap here, this 5-minute. So this still makes me think draw is lower. At this point, what time is it? It's 10:26. So I'm like, all right, continuation model is still valid here. So what's the highest time frame in the leg? We have this 3-minute. If we got this 3-minute close, I would have taken this for there's like a 1-2 RR, something like that, close to that. 1.45. I would have taken this. We don't get the close though, and then the 4 minutes becomes the highest time frame. This gap, and then we open up a 5-minute, which I'll get to. We open up this 5-minute. So this is a good trade. So you go stop loss above the hourly, TP at the daily, you get a 1-to-1. But where's the close here? There's no break-even point on this trade. And a big thing that I like to have in my trades is break-even point. And then we're also opening up like a 30-minute at this point because it's 10:31. So this eventually becomes hourly after this plays out. But I also faded this because, I mean, we just chopped. And like this could easily get reswept. We also have a 5-minute above. I think that the close is here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the 5-minute close is here. 10:35. And so this is also something I want to talk about after I get into the buy model that just put out. But I normally get off the charts at around 10:30. And that's just because like I don't like to linger around. If I'm not getting a setup during the first macro from 9:50 to 10:10, everything else is sort of just low probability. And today was a perfect case of maybe why I should stay on a little bit later for like the last ditch macro from 10:50 to 11:10. But yeah, just choppy price action. So we chop all the way until, I mean, this also probably just gets break even because after we take this internal low, I probably would just go break even. Excuse me. But this ends up playing out. So at this point, we manipulate lower at 11 a.m. And so if I'm going to be bullish, then I want to see 11 a.m. do the work. Open, low, high, close. We have all this low resistance liquidity here that I expect to get ran. So like this SMT doesn't matter. 5-minute. All this doesn't matter. We take the the weekly low, internal low, hold the SMT, create a high time frame SMT. Highest time frame in the leg becomes a 3-minute that we open up. If we got this instantly, this instant reaction through this is like a full port. This is the most A+ as it gets, in my opinion. Clear break even, high inside of 5-minute fair value gap. Unfilled hourly is the target. You got so much low resistance liquidity up here. All this LRL. I mean, this is as A+ as it gets. The only way it could be more A+ was if we had like equal lows. Like, see, we have equal lows here on ES. Like, if these were equal lows, or sorry, equal highs. If these were equal highs above, that would be like A++. Maybe if we had like an internal SMT here, that would be super A+. But I mean, this is just simply AMD. So price distributes after manipulating higher. Then we accumulate. We manipulate everyone that's long here. Take out the weekly low, all the stops resting below there, manipulation. And after that, distribution. So if we inverse this, I expect us to fly higher. And so at this point, I was watching this, this was a little bit tricky because I stepped off at 10:30 here, walked back to my apartment, started making some food, and I had an alert set for after this gets taken because I wouldn't even consider anything after that, and I wanted to take the highest time frame, which was the 3-minute, and the 3-minute closed all the way up here. So at this point, I'm like, all right. I mean, I'm still gonna lower size on MNQ, but this is only a 1-to-1, and it's either I don't go break even at this high, and just, this very well could lose if my bias is wrong. I mean, this is still very A+, so it's unlikely. But this could essentially just end up being a break even trade. And so in hindsight, the best close is just the 1 minute. And so this ends up playing out. And I'll explain why the 1 minute's the best, but, you go stop to break even here. If you're entering on the 3-minute, this is the entry, you just get break even. But, like, the thing about break even here is, like, is this a real break even? Like, are we actually going to go lower? And the question is, or the answer is no, because we tapped the 5-minute. I mean, I guess the limit order could be here on this 5-minute order block, 5-minute breaker block. And this is the turtle soup. This is the lowest that you want to see price go if we're going to be in a buy program. And then we just run to the hourly. And I think we'll probably come up and take London highs. If this happened at 9:50, 10:10, I'm 100% ripping this setup. 100% taking this. But in my rules, I have it here. Just like some motivational shit as well. Do I have this written down somewhere? Yeah. So these are just my rules. I don't really worry about lockout anymore because I'm not trading top set. But this is my trade window, 9:30 to 10:30. And the reason for that is that, I mean, I just like to get on with my day after trading. And normally after 10:30, if we're not making the move in the New York first macro, 9:50 to 10:10, I mean, I'm essentially just waiting to see price chopped like the rest of AM session. Like that's my bread and butter. That's all I've really back tested, 9:30 to 10:30. And so like today brings up an interesting challenge because 11 a.m. did the work, and I'm not normally on for 11 a.m. So like my price, I perfectly read this in real time. I mean, I set a limit order on MNQ at the 3-minute low, and after we took the internal high here, I just canceled it because, like, I mean, that's just invalid at that point. Wait, and I'll show you guys just for proof. Just for proof. Where is my... Oh, it's not logged in. All right. Well, you guys can choose whether or not to believe me. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to happen, though. And I think this is just like going back to something I was talking about yesterday, just like being detached. Like, so many setups are going to happen in trading. Like, there's always a setup. There's always another setup to take. And the thing that I have to ask myself at the end of each trading day is, did I follow my rules? Today, followed my rules 100%. And so let's say I'm staying on until 11:10 and I take that trade and that's a win or that's a loss. That's still good rules. Good habits, sorry. But if I take that and that's a loss outside of my execution window of 9:30 to 10:30, like my mental's probably screwed. In real time, sitting and watching it, like, that's the most obvious setup that I think I ever see. Market maker buy model, generated low resistance liquidity above, high time frame SMT, clear manipulation. It's just the way it ran today. And yeah, I mean, super happy with how I played price action today. Pretty much read it like a book. Just didn't see an entry, and that's all it is. Really good price action. Happy to be away from all-time highs, so hopefully we can keep this up the rest of the week. But that's going to be it for today. I mean, patience is super important when you trade. And, like, just sitting through all this liquidity generation, like, it's boring. But it's just part of the game. Because like if I try to force something, like one of the mentors that I follow took this 2 minute short and they tried longing this, like, dude, like I can't, I wouldn't be happy with myself if I'm taking bad trades when, the draw is just obviously somewhere else. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm rambling about anymore. That's gonna be it. Insane masterclass today on price action. So if you took something away from this, give like a little comment or a like, and I'll be back on here tomorrow to hopefully have a winning trade, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm just following my rules. So yeah, good price action today. Hopefully you guys trade well, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.